everyone, it's Michelle from Scrap Secrets, and welcome to card number 5 of the Countdown to Christmas card series. Here's the 2 cards that we're going to be making today, and we are going to be making both of them with the MFT We Wish You a Merry Christmas stamp. It's a very large sentiment in the shape of a Christmas tree, and it's perfect for cards that you want to either mass produce or get done fairly quickly because it takes up the majority of your card front and it looks really nice on the front. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Be Creative towel and I'm going to wipe over the area that we are going to heat emboss. I find that using that or a microfiber cloth actually helps reduce the static and the oils that are on the papers from our fingers and other things that they may have touched that will attract the embossing powder. It doesn't help with everything, but it helps cut down on it. We're going to be inking up the stamp set with Versamark ink. Versamark ink is a clear, sticky ink that gives a watermark impression, and you can leave it like that and it'll create a watermark background. So just the image being just a little bit darker than the card stock that you stamped it on. Or you can use it to heat emboss, and that's what we're going to do today. I apologize for my head a couple seconds ago. I was just trying to make sure that the paper was lined up properly in the MISTI and it didn't shift. So I'm going to do it 3 times because I believe my Versamark ink is old and I wanted to get a really good impression, and the middle just was giving me a hard time. So there it is up close. And now we're going to be using some Zing metallic gold embossing powder that I got from Hobby Lobby a while ago. It was on clearance for like less than $2. I'm just going to sprinkle the gold embossing powder over the entire sentiment, shake it off onto a piece of folded cardstock or folded paper. This is actually an old receipt from one of the stamp companies that I buy from. And then we're going to use the paintbrush to just take away some of the excess embossing powder. Now, a lot of people will use the embossing bag or the embossing buddy. I've seen people make their own, and my sister is supposed to make me one out of either cornstarch or baby powder and an old baby sock. I've seen homemade recipes for that, so I'm going to try that out. And just using that paintbrush because it will take off the excess. And I feel like I was really shaky. I think you can't see it too bad in this because I sped it up, but I felt like I was really shaking when I was going in between those letters because I got nervous. Now, I did cut this down because this is only the second time I've used this Wagner heat tool, and actually a lot of it is this, as you see my hand or you see the embossing gun in it. I really wanted to show you the embossing, and you will see a little bit of it, but I had the heat gun on level 1. And I should have had it on level 2, and I had a hard time embossing this one. The second one goes much faster, but you can see the difference in the, right there, you can see the difference between the powder that was melted and the powder that had yet to be melted. It's that really, really nice shiny color when it is melted, and when it's not, you can see that it's grainy and it doesn't look like it's all together. So it's very easy to see. And there I missed the loop on the H, and then I missed the tail on the A. I miss a lot of it, so I was just having a very difficult time. So I cut a lot of that out, and then I just showed the end when I realized, put it on level 2, genius. So things like this. Today, this card just killed me from beginning to end. I just had so much trouble with it. And for this one, I'll talk you through it. I just do the same thing. This is going to be the stepped up version. We're going to ink it up with Versamark ink 4 times, or sorry, 3 or 4 times, I think, because the middle wasn't stamping. So for this one, in staying with the theme of things that didn't go right since the beginning of this card, I videotaped it, and I thought I had videotaped it, and then my camera had shut off. And then when I went back, because I did another version of this, which this is what you'll see on here, this version, I went back to do the editing and I realized, oh crap, the first one did tape. I don't know what happened. So you're going to see this one, the stepped up version. I like the second one better because I had planned out a little bit more after I saw what the first one did. I was able to plan out what I did a little bit better in this, and I'll walk you through that when we get to it. But this is just inking up with Versamark ink, just like we did with the first one. So you're going to do the same basic step in the beginning, and then I'll show you guys to the camera what it looks like. Then we're going to add embossing powders. So yes, we're going to be adding 2 embossing powders, which are Recollections Silver and Recollections Clear Silver. Now, the first one, I kind of just added them wherever. This one, I decided to add the silver to the outsides of the sentiment because it looks like a tree. So I wanted the outside to be darker and the inside to be the clear silver, so it's a little bit lighter. I'm just sprinkling those powders on. Now you can take them and use your fingers and just put them kind of where you want them, or you can do this and kind of mix them together. You're really not supposed to put these back into the bottles because they're mixed. But because this was both silvers and there wasn't that huge of a difference on them, and I think that they look nice together, I decided to just put them back in, both back in this silver pot. Oh, but if you do like a red and a green, I would not do that because then you're gonna go to do something in red and have green in it. So you can see my heat gun is on level 2, which the only thing I don't like about this is with my nails, it's hard to hit the button, but otherwise I like it. You can see how much faster it's going, and I did cut out a lot of the gold one, but this one is going super, super quickly, and it gives me a very nice result, and you'll be able to see that the middle has that clear, and it's like kind of like an ombre. So loving it. I did get a little bit of warping, but it is what it is. Okay, so now I glued the pieces onto the cardstock and then the cardstock down onto the base. And the base of the teal one is a side folding and the pink one is a top folding card. Now I am using pieces from Kindred Stamp's Winter Wonderland pot. It's just a little pot that I got in the advent calendar from last year, which was awesome. If you guys don't know about that, I'll talk a little about that while I'm putting the sequins on. They did a advent calendar where every day you opened one of the boxes like a regular advent calendar and got a really cool crafty surprise, and in the end you got 2 stamp sets and a bunch of embellishments, ribbon, things like that. So it was pretty cool. So this is one of the things that I got, was the Winter Wonderland pot of different types of different silver and white embellishments, little gems and jewels and things like that. There's actually some deer in there too, which is super cute. Now I am using the Silhouette Pick Me Up, which I hate. I need to get one of those crystal katana ones, and I just am too cheap and I refuse to use the money and spend the money on it. This one, I absolutely hate this one, and I kind of wish I never got it because then I could have spent my money on the crystal katana one, but that one's pretty expensive. I just think it picks things up, but that little that putty on the end, it's like the putty that we used to use to put posters up back in like the 80s, and it just either too much of it or too little comes out, and I just really don't like it. And I'm also having a difficult time with placement on here. I don't know if anyone else struggles. Let me know in the comments if anybody else struggles with the placement of sequins or embellishments or gems or anything. I just have the hardest time doing it. But that one just came apart, came off the glue. Again, hot mess central. So I put that to the side. I keep the lid off of that. So there's that one. I keep the lid off of that, which was very brave of me because normally I knock stuff over. And then I pulled out another sequins pack, and I believe, I can't remember if this is from Kindred Stamps or if it's from Hero Art. So if anybody has this one and knows, let me know in the comments below because I completely forget. It's from one of the kits that I got. I just can't remember which one. And it has reds and golds in it, and I really love it, but I have never used it because I don't really use embellishments. So I'm using my MFT On Point Precision Glue, and it was giving me a hard time in the beginning because the glue wasn't coming out. I think that it's almost done, and I will be switching over to the new Honeybee one, which is in my haul video, which is either going to be right before or right after this. Probably right after this because I'm going to try to get this up because this is my Christmas Fridays, my countdown to Christmas on Fridays. And since it's almost very late on Friday night, I want to make sure I get this up. So right here you see, again, sticking with the theme that nothing went right today. There were 2 sequins on there, and then I realized I put that one back in there and there was glue on it. So put that out, and then I actually end up with 7 embellishments on this one and 5 on the teal one. So the more I'm looking at them, the more I really like them. Let me know if you like the placement of the jewels, if you would have done something different, if you have a hard time with it. I'd love to hear what everybody else's thoughts are, because I always feel like I'm the only one, and then people will write in the comments that that happens to them too, or they do that too, and it just makes you feel better about, when you have a bad day or, things aren't right. So there are the final 2 cards. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you learned something new, learned that you can mix embossing powders if you didn't already know that. It is a really fun technique. So go ahead and try it and let me know if you do in the comments. And here are just some close-up pictures of the cards. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again real soon for another video. Bye!